I could tell you the truth, you swear I was lying. You could tell me a lie. There are those who swear to it, and the rest will believe in it. Yeah. William Ian here, 1799. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. It does not cost you anything. Let's look into something a little bit differently. We have many questions. We always try to seek the answers. Sometimes the answers don't work right. They don't coordinate with the question, let's say. If an immigrant has been caught, or I'll say it illegal, suppose he's been deported 4 or 5 times, he got back in this country, how did he doing it? Interesting question. How about why did he refuse to sign the Lincoln-Riley Act? That too is an interesting question. 600,000 lives of innocent women, men, children, elderly people. They don't even recognize them. They won't acknowledge them. And you have illegal drug operations that are operating above ground. The Democrat Party controls all these sanctuary states by controlling the sanctuary governors and the AGs. These governors put high taxes, outrageous gun laws, and yet protect their illegals. And yet, the big question here is, how come the immigration officers are having such a tough time doing their job, trying to remove these illegal immigrants from our aliens or immigrants from our country? Governors will alert them. People will stand and protest against them, even using violent rhetoric. I see all against Donald Trump. Interesting questions, huh? I was doing some searching into some things. I was out after my workout and I went out for a bike ride. And then something dawned on me. So I had to go back to one of my old videos. And it's called, This is an Important Information. It's what I did about immigration and so forth. The more I looked at it, the more I just couldn't figure out what's really or why or what's going on. Why we have so many questions, there's no answers, there's just no nothing. Then I spotted something. I spotted something because it didn't quite look right. So I looked in it a little more deeper. I kind of like try to reverse my question on immigration a little bit. And I think I found the answer. I'm going to bring you to this board that I created here. Well, actually, it's the information I got from these politicians, former presidents, by the way. Let's see if we can get around to it. What you're seeing here is a board. And this board has what these politicians claim they've deported. that claimed they deported. That's what I didn't catch on. That was the point that I just somehow missed. Here's what kind of caught my eye. And I was surprised I didn't catch it earlier. If you look at Bush Sr., for his first president, claims he deported 8.3 million, right? Bill Clinton claims he deported 12.3 million. Bush Jr. declares he deported 10.3 million. Barack Obama declares he deported 438,421. Donald Trump thinks he did 1 million. Biden declares he deported 4.4 million. Now, President Trump is still in office. He's trying to get rid of that. What's wrong with these numbers? Truth may be stranger than fiction. And I think that's what we're missing here. In order to get 8.3 million in 1 year, right, you need a staff, and I'm talking about federal agents, 3 times the size what Kristi Noem has right now. And still wouldn't be enough to get 3.8 million. Same here with Bill Clinton. 2-term, 12.3 million. In order to get that, like I said, you need a huge staff. 10.3 million, Bush Jr., Barack Obama, 438,421. Donald Trump is still up in the air because his staff claims, but they're not sure. And then you got Biden, 4.4 million. Now here's the point to this. To get these numbers, let's just kick out Donald Trump here. To get to these numbers, Barack Obama might be possible, but I highly doubt it. You need a huge, huge staff. But there's a key point missing out of this. You know what the key point is? In order to get these numbers, you have to have a huge army in these cities, in these towns, in these states. Which means temporarily, they were never there. So, what if they never deported anybody? Would make sense, wouldn't it? And yes, ICE agents pick these people up. Oh yeah, they do. But the problem with that is, if they pick them up, they take them to detention centers. What they do in the detention centers is probably cut and release them. So the answer is one question now. How can these people still be deported and be back in this country? Or they never left? I believe these politicians all knew they had a huge problem with this deportation stuff, or illegal immigrants, or the flood. So rather than actually try to deport these people, they may have just retrieved a few of them, but not a lot of them, send them to detention centers, and just whatever happens, happens. Which makes more sense. So maybe that's why the Democrats didn't want to sign the Lincoln-Riley Act. Because they would have to admit this is their fault. But not just the Democrats, Republicans too. So I made also the reason why there is no riots in the street, no confrontation with federal agents, and no media coverage. It would make more sense, and it doesn't. It answers many questions. It answers a lot of questions. So, technical basis, if they weren't really deporting these people, like I said, to get 8.3, 12.3, 10.3, 438,000, or even 4.4 by Biden's estimate. I don't think Biden deported anybody, to be honest with you. I really don't. There's just statistics and numbers. Not real. Truth is stranger than fiction, like I said before. They're not going to admit to this. Rightfully so, because then they got to admit to a lot of other problems, which a lot of us would have. So if they didn't really deport these people, maybe a handful, maybe 100, 200, make it look good. Maybe 1,000, I doubt that very much. Because you'd have riots in the streets. You'd have to get the National Guard. You have to get so much stuff out there. So it's not whether if these presidents could deport people but not Donald Trump, that's the other way around. Donald Trump is trying to deport people. It's the other ones that didn't deport people. And that's the key factors here. So when we sit back and we think about this very, very carefully, do the math. To get these kind of numbers, you need a staff 3 times or 4 times the size of what Kristi Noem has right now. And I'm only scratching the surface if I'm correct in this matter. She doesn't have a lot of people out there. So do these politicians lie? I wouldn't be surprised. Because if their records say this is what they did, then why do we still have a lot of illegals in here? Why do we still have these people supposed to be deported, yet they're still back in here 3, 4, 5, 6 times? Now, why you have these judges who know these are ICE detainees, put them back on the street with huge records on them? I think it answers a lot of questions here. It answers a lot of questions. The Democrats still want to admit that, yeah, just over 600,000 innocent lives lost because of this. But in the same token, they didn't want to sign the Lincoln Riley Act neither because they admit their guilt. So if you don't vote for or admit to it, can't prove anything. But to have these numbers, and there's no riots in the streets, no way. If Donald Trump only got 1 million, and yet these guys are 12, 8, 10 million, yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Keep your friends and family close, and I'll leave you with this. Add it up yourself. You'll figure it out. And as always, you take care. Yeah, it adds up now.